our stories, heritage, and aesthetic. For this year, the University of Cebu Senior High School Arts and Design, both in UCME and Manila, are very proud to create another milestone in the pursuance and forwarding the theater movement in the region through organizing of Panagtipon 2018, a festival of CEBUANO theater. This is not only a contribution to the creative industry of our region, but a manifestation that we are indeed a people with a rich reservoir of creators, transformators, creative trailblazers. All the plays that you will witness for the month of February are all written by local writers, born for the Kahigwaos Writers Workshop for Drama and Performance. It is likewise an honor for us to have as collaborators the members of the Unified Artists of Cebu, and of course, having for our mentors distinguished theater pillars, not only of the region, but the national circuit, Orlando B. Magno and Miss Penny Ong. In behalf of the people behind Panagtipon, I thank our University President, Attorney Augusto W. Go, our Chancellor, Ms. Candice Gutchanoy, our senior high school principals, and our faculty advisors for allowing us to crochet a creative tapestry that will forever be embedded in our life. The trials, challenges that we've been through, the sleepless nights that never killed our hope, the different people that we have encountered, they are very much alike, the different stripes and colors that made the journey very insightful. Organizing this event has all the more emboldened us as creative individuals to the heart. Truly, being in theater is not only to rehearse how to be an actor, but to rehearse for the real life. Not only to pretend to live a life, but to decide and transform our own life. Not only to be responsible as theater workers, but to be relevant individuals who can guarantee a spiraling power to make this world better and make each one an integral part of everyone. To all of you, daghang salamat for all your support and for gracing this event's opening. To our instructors, we thank you for sharing this world of black curtains and multiple color lights, and for being patient and understanding. We'd never come this far in the journey if it weren't for you, who encouraged us to take the first step. To our actors from the Unified Artists of Cebu and for the Kahigwa-OS workshop, we thank you for guiding us in the process, especially for inspiring the few of us to take the center stage and be confident in added radiation to the lights. Lastly, to everyone here, thank you for being a part of this festival. A show, no matter how grand, can never be complete without you, our beloved audience. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to Gugma'G.
Which has been too much along 2 earthquakes and 100 typhoons, will soon be gone. Lost like him, friends, everyone said you had so much kindness for me. How have I disappointed you? President Marcos and the king visited here, as well as the President Ramos. At least a dozen senators came here. All the governors for the last 2 years came here. But now, even the beggars don't come. Honorable release from this chains of infamy. That's how you would say it, right? You were always over dramatic and emphatic.
Yes, it's me, George.
What are you doing here?
Can I come in?
Of course. Of course.
Well, apparently the house has seen better times.
Is that what you're here? Tell me that.
George, in case you have forgotten, I am still your wife. Until you drove us out.
I didn't do that. You drove yourself out. And taking Marites and Richie with you was definitely not my idea.
I agree. She done. It was her fault. If it were not for that crazy woman, today would have been our 25th anniversary.
Well, if it makes you happy. It was a mistake. I regret it.
I can't believe it, I'm hearing. You never admitted at making mistakes before, let alone expressing regrets.
I broke up with Sheena 4 years ago.
I heard.
And I'm sure you've heard too, that the business is not doing well.
That's an understatement. The hacienda gone, the sugar mill abandoned, the trucking business, a tiny fraction of what it used to be. I told you. Tirso was no good, but you never listened. So now, you finally admit that I know more of the business than you do.
Look, Lucia, you don't have to rake up old grudges and mistakes. Is that why you're here? To make fun of me again?
I'm sorry, George. No, I'm here because of Marites.
Marites. Something happened to her.
Well, in case you don't remember, Marites is 23 now and she's getting married on August 5. She begged me to ask you to give her a ring.
Marites, who wants me after all I've done to her? Don't you know I'm not the success I once was? Don't you know that having me in the wedding might bring problems and disrepute?
Well, that's what she wants.
Finally, this. Always a daddy's girl. I can still remember how hard she cried because I missed her graduation. But hasn't she heard about the lies and the stories they've spread about me?
Well, she knows. You've been all over the papers. Everything gone. All you have left is this house.
Not even the house you see it. I owe Tirso 10 million. And if I can pay him in 2 weeks, he'll be getting the house too.
10 million? You're kidding me. It was only a little over 2 million 9 years ago.
There were interest costs and penalties. But does it matter? I don't even have 100,000 now.
Well, the house certainly would be worth at least twice as much. But after some repairs, not at this condition.
So please, tell Marie that she won't just be worrying about what her guests will say about me. I won't even have a house to come home to.
George, why don't we do this? If you can negotiate to get it down to 6 million, I can get it for us.
What?
Yes, I have some money and I'm looking for a house. If he can come down to 6 million, I can get it and we can stay in it together.
What are you saying?
George, I already said it twice.
Are you serious?
Yes, George. Did I ever say anything I don't mean? You've known me for so long.
After what I've done to you?
Yes! You admitted it! You drove me and the children out. Oh, how you changed, George.
How could you forgive me for that? I can't even forgive myself.
But I can. I do. Why let pride or guilt prevent us from being together again?
But Lucia,
George, until Sheila came along, we had 20 good years with each other.
I don't understand.
Memories, George? I have memories. I remember nights here in this living room. We, the children, watching Betamax movies. On this sofa, where we made out one night and your mother walked in. Or the kitchen, where you used to make mushroom omelets just for me. Oh, and here, where Mayor Ravago made a pass at me and you ended up punching him in the face. Don't you have memories, George? And they're all here. And if we can't hold on to them here, we can make new ones. It's a choice we still have.
But what will people say?
Why care what people say? That your wife got the house back for you? So old-fashioned to think such things these days.
Is it? I still lack such men with no backbone.
But times are changing, George.
And is it now honorable to ask a woman to fight a man's battle? I squander the family fortune, and I can even lift my head in public. I would really be happy dead. Kaysa tatawag sa buwan.
Pinigil kitang magmalipain, George. Just tone down your pride. Didn't you tell me of all you ever wanted? Right there, in the veranda. Did you really need it? Why is it so difficult for you to live by what you swore and promised me over 25 years ago?
I know, Lucia, but I have this.
I can also help you slowly revive the business. You might have sent us away penniless, but I have few investments of my own that did very well. And I have some savings.
It's not that, Lucia. I think that we
George, I
should...
had 9 years to think it over. And I know my priorities. The children need their dad. And I need you, George. One part of me wants to punch you in the face, teach you a lesson. But the practical part of me is saying that at 6 million is a good deal, and possible to negotiate, and we can be together again.
See, I don't know what to say.
George, I know this is a lot to think about, and I know you. Yes, you need some time. But for once, please stop talking about pride and honor and just be practical. I want you to know I don't hate you. I have loved you before, and I can love you again. Sabihin ko na natin na, George. We can start over again, and no, I can do this. Goodbye. Happy anniversary.
Lucia, it wasn't Marita's idea for me to give her away. It was yours. You're calling the shots now, aren't you, Lucia? You've always wanted to.
You've never let me before. I was as smart as you. I had the talent, the skills.
Yes, I've known for quite some time now that you can be better at this than me.
But I was never given the chance to prove it.
That was my mistake. I'm sorry for that.
We can start over again, George. You can be there for me.
You said you loved me.
And I still do, George.
So you're thinking that this time it will be more easier for you to manage, is it?
George, isn't love about lowering our defenses and listening to each other? Why is it so difficult? Allow me in to help you.
Then you don't want to know if I still loved you.
Why not, George? But then, does it matter now?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does, Lucia. It does. What do you think, Lolo? Should I now be a husband under the side? Do you approve of that? Did you always tell me that we men should always be in charge of our women and giving pride and taking care of them? Tia, you can talk like she's giving you a great business deal. Or even love. But her desire to take control and always be on top. I've been many times the receiving end of that. But I just end it the way I intended it all to end. Before I was rudely interrupted. But dear soul will get the house. Our house will falling into outside lands. The bastard! That shit! That shit! Wait. Maybe there's something I can do. I've known dear soul for many years. And I know it's nothing. It's all so clear to me now. There is another is right. You see, you will get the house without paying for it. She's a woman. And she's still my wife. And she's your in-law, Lolo, with the good business sense. You just saw her. You heard her. She can help me gain the family fortune right here. In this very house where you have built, Lolo, where you have started it all. Yes, you're right. First, a quick visit to Atty. Marie to change my will. Then, I know it will work. I'm going to make sure it will work.
This is the CBS Radio Network. This is WADC First in Akron.
We are currently in the house of the businessman Mr. Tercio de la Cuesta, where police have found the body of Mr. George Santos, who was found dead in several gunshot wounds. Witnesses attest hearing both Tercio and George arguing loudly before shots were heard. Tercio is now in the custody and under interrogation by the NBI. Mr. de la Cuesta insisted it was self-defense. George Santos was son of 3 generations of Santoses, who used to be one of the biggest landowners in Negros Occidental before they fell into bad times in recent years.
George, today is your 50th anniversary. Last night, Governor Moreno and Senator Lacson and 150 other guests were at Casa Santos' blessing after the renovation. I timed it on to what could have been our 30th wedding anniversary. We will also soon add 20 trucks to our fleet. And last week, Marites gave birth to her second grandchild, a boy. We named him Rufino Jorge. Things are doing well. Only you were here. That would have been a grand slam celebration. I know what you did, George. I can't prove it, but it sounds like you. You provoked him, didn't you? You fool! You didn't have to do that. All you had to do was to accept the truth about me, about what I can do for you. All you had to do was to put pride and honor aside, that's all. Would that have been so difficult? You were a great husband and a father, George. But the sad fact is, you were a lousy businessman and you couldn't handle that truth. Why is it so important to be the provider and to be honored and revered? Is it not enough for a man to love and be loved?
simply can't afford the travel. And not to mention the visa application. I guess I have to call you more often. I know. It should have been our first time in 4 years. I miss you too. I love you. I have to go now, okay? I still have to figure out why I'm here, and I still don't know why Elmer and Tansy has summoned me. But I'll keep you posted as soon as I know. Alicia, listen. Stay strong for me, okay? I know you're disappointed. I am too, but we can get through this together. We'll be together again soon, okay? I promise. Okay. I'll call you later.
Why am I being called into your office, Mr. Tansy?
Oh, call me Elmer, please, just like before. And how long has it been since college? 15 years? Come on, how you doing, buddy?
Same old Elmer. Look at you, Chief Operating Officer of Starcross Prime Holdings. It's the largest real estate developer in the country.
And look at you. The country's only renowned environmentalist activist. We almost have the same number of people under our wing, 8,000 followers and more. Please, have a seat.
But the difference is, I pay my people.
Go on, sit.
So, what business do we have with each other, Elmer?
Oh, come on, Phil. We haven't seen each other for more than a decade. Wouldn't it be nice if we could just catch up a bit? So, how's Alicia?
Well, she's doing great in Melbourne.
That's, wonderful, Phil. I heard about how she got that nursing job 3 years ago and how she set up her own online store in Melbourne. I hear her products are really good.
Okay, looks like you've been doing your homework, Elmer. Anyway, I hope I caught up with work today, so, I mean, if you don't mind.
You know what? This reminds me so much of college. I mean, you were always the racer, always in a hurry. But that worked out for you, right? You always met deadlines. Well, I rather just get stressed out almost all of the time.
Okay, you know me too well, Elmer. So, if you don't mind, then what business do I have here?
I'm planning on putting up a new mall which happens to be located in a forested area surrounded by barangays Kamal, Pitsoko, Singhai. The uprooting is scheduled tomorrow.
What?
After you shut down the Danao City Mall construction of Tri-Speed Developers, my toughest competition, I figured that putting you by my side when the new mall gets constructed would ensure its completion.
Wait, if you really did your homework, then you should already know my answer, right?
We go a long way, Phil. And after all, we were and always will be college buddies, right? I'm asking for your support. I hope you'll give it to me.
You do know uprooting this trees in this part of the forest surrounding those 3 large barangays has environmental impacts. I mean, don't you know that?
Oh, Phil, give it a rest. You know what? You should put that enthusiasm of yours in check. Because at the end of the day, it's all just business. A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. And sometimes, well, we all have to make some sacrifices, right?
Sacrifices? On whose expense? Yours? You know very well how this will affect the surrounding barangays. Landslides, flash floods, pollution. I mean, you don't need me to describe the rest.
Oh, that's what I admire most about you, Phil. You're not only this national environmental icon, you also have a big heart. A trait we have in common.
Are you joking?
But haven't you heard that we provided financial assistance to those families living in those three barangays? And almost all of them were only too willing to accept our help. And I even invested in fixing their own drainage system.
Come on. You know those things are just temporary, and you know the long-term effects if this pushes through.
I know why you think that way, Phil.
Well, tell me something I don't already know.
I happen to know that barangays in High holds a very huge place in your heart. Because that's where your ancestral home is. Your roots. Rest assured, everything is taken care of.
That is absolutely not the point, Albert. My town, your town, and anyone else's town, they all matter to me. How do you think I earned my reputation?
Okay, I'm sorry if I offended you, but how can I convince you